Kyle, I do want to move on to now the UConn. Let's talk about UConn. Let's talk about this game coming up. We know, man, it seems like years ago since that first ever conference game that the Shockers played at UConn. And we knew UConn was down, but we went in there and we dominated. The final score, the Shockers only won by 10, but it was a lot more than that. We dominated that game.
Yeah, we did.
So that they're coming up again. This time UConn is coming to Wichita, Saturday, 5 p.m. at Koch Arena. It's on ESPN too. What can we expect out of this game? What has UConn done since that game so long ago?
Well, first I want to just say that this was a matchup that had the potential to be a college game day game. And so it wasn't announced the actual time for this game about a week and a half ago. And so if UConn hadn't been terrible this year,
would have been it.
This probably would have been a game day game. Yeah. So we can blame UConn for messing up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that first game, I don't know. I mean, it was tough because UConn is a tough environment to play, but the Shockers played extremely well on the road and they got the win.
15,000 people or so. I mean, quite a bit of people. That
was one of the biggest games
in the stadium, or in the arena. So the Shockers went on the road and took care of business. I think a lot has happened. Maybe even some things have happened to shake our confidence in the Shockers a bit, but I think you got to be confident going into this game. I think you got to feel good about Wichita State's chances with UConn coming to town.
Yes, I know I'm very confident in this matchup just because I've watched UConn play quite a few times this season. Because especially in the non-conference, I kept hoping they would beat one of their good opponents.
Yeah.
And they really didn't do it. They've had some big letdowns this season, and just if we look at that first game, UConn's top 3 scorers this season, Jalen Adams, Terry Larrier, and Christian Vital, they combined for 53 out of UConn's 62 points.
Wow.
In that game against Wichita State.
Wow.
And so they're 3 guards. They're their best players on the team, and so
stop them. Just stop them.
Just slow them down even. Because they don't really have much else.
Yeah.
Especially down low. That's where the Shockers had to take advantage of them this time. And they didn't really excel at that too much that first matchup, but I'm telling you, Shaq and Willis and Nerger really need to play well in this game and just take advantage of that mismatch down low.
And I think, Shaq has been a consistent guy through some of the ups and downs that the Shockers have had this season. He's a guy you can rely on. So I like that matchup. I like what we're seeing from the Shockers. I feel so much better after the Memphis game, after the win in Memphis, a comfortable win. There was no drama there. Well, there was a little drama, actually.
A little bit, yes, the second half.
But the Shockers pulled it out, and we saw what I think is the more true performance of the Shockers rather than some slumps they've had, especially on the road. But yeah, this one's at home. We feel good about how the Shockers are going to do. Anything can happen. We've learned that in the American Athletic Conference. But even a win here, I don't think we could even call this a quality win anymore. I think it's just a win that you got to take care of business on in the conference because you have bigger games coming up.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that because UConn, like we've said, they're not very good. Yeah. Ken Palm, let's see, they're around 160, 170 right now.
160.
When you look at their program, the history of it, man, this is just such a letdown.
Oh man, I think my open gym buddies we play basketball on Sundays in my church are in the 130s.
I would like to see that matchup, to be honest.
Oh man. Okay, we're being harsh there.
But seriously, it was reported earlier this week that Kevin Ollie, that UConn's AD will evaluate him at the end of the season. Okay. Which most people kind of think that means he will be gone.
Are the NCAA sanctions still hanging around? I've not seen any update on that.
I have not seen any updates either. Okay. I know I believe they're still going on. So there's this kind of cloud hanging over that program right now. Okay. And the Huskies are not in a good place mentally or physically because they've had some injuries as well. Yeah. So I think the Shockers are going to win this by 15, 20 plus. I really do.
Saturday, 5 o'clock at Koch Arena on ESPN2. Wichita State's playing UConn. Thanks for tuning in.